Hi, I'm David from UNACAR, from the ICT course uh, teach, teach, teach by Mr. Rafael Ferrer, and I'm going to tell you about the research translation facilitation from computer assisted language learning. Well, until quite recently, computer assisted language learning, CAL, is a topic of relevance mostly to those with a special interest in that area. Recently, thought computers have become so widespread in schools and homes, and their uses have expanded so dramatically that the majority of languages teachers must now begin to think about the implications of computers for language learning. What this is referring to is that nowadays we have the facilities to learn English from our homes. This is thanks to the computer using three phases. It has three phases. Recall. Foucault has developed gradually over the last 30 years. This development can be categorized in terms of three somewhat distinct phases, which I will refer to as behavioristic call, communicative call, and integrative call. Well, pass to the first one. Behaviorist call. The first phase of call, conceived in the 1950s and implemented in the 1960s and 70s, was based on the then dominant behaviorist theories of learning. Programs of this phase entailed repetitive language drills and can be referred to as drill and practice, or more pejoratively, as drill and kill. Well, we later on pass to the explanation of this term. The rationale behind drill and practice was not totally spurious, which explains in part the fact that call drills are still used today. Briefly put, that rationale is as follows. The first point is repeated exposure to the same material is beneficial or even essential to learning. That we have to study the material that is given to us in order to learn and domain it. A computer is ideal for carrying a repeated skills since the machine does not get bored with presenting the same material, and since it can provide immediately non-judgmental feedback. Okay, a computer can present such material on an individualized basis, allowing students to proceed at their own pace and freeing up class time for other activities. This is very important for us as students. Let's move to the second one. Communicate call. The second phase of call was based on the communicate approach to teaching, which became prominent in the 1970s and 80s. Proponents of this approach felt that the drill and practice programs of the previous decade did not allow enough of authentic communication to be of much value. Interesting points. Focuses on using forms that underform themselves. Teaches grammar implicitly rather than explicitly. Allows and encourages students to generate original utterances rather than just manipulate prefabricated language. 4. Does not judge and evaluate everything the students nor regard them with congratulatory messages, lights, or bells. 5. Avoids telling students that are wrong and is flexible to a variety of students' responses. 6. Uses the target language exclusively and creates an environment in which using the target language feels natural, both on and off the screen. 7. I'll never try to do anything that a book can do just as well. Move on. Step forward integrative call, multimedia. Integrative approaches to call are based on two important technological developments of the last decade: multimedia computers and the internet. Multimedia technology, exemplified today by the CD-ROM, allows a variety of media, text, graphics, sound, animation, and video to be accessed in a single machine. Hypermedia provides of a number of advantages for language learning. First of all, a more authentic learning environment is created since listening is combined with seeing just like in the real world. Secondly, skills are easily integrated since the variety of media make it natural to combine reading, writing, speaking, and listening in a single activity. Third, students have great control over their learning since they can not only go at their own pace but even on their own individual path going forward and backwards to different parts of the program, honing in on a particular aspects and skipping other aspects altogether. Finally, a major advantage of hypermedia is that it facilitates a principal focus on content without sacrificing a secondary focus on language or learning strategies. Steps forward integrative call the Internet. Computer mediated communication allows users to share not only brief messages, but also lengthy format or unformatted documents, thus facilitating collaborative writing and also graphics, sounds, and video. Using the World Wide Web (www), students can search through millions of files around the world within minutes to locate and access authentic materials, e.g. example, newspaper and magazine articles, radio broadcasts, short videos, movie reviews, blog excerpts, exactly tailored to their own personal interests. They can also use the web to publish their text or multimedia materials to share with partner classes or with the general public. It isn't hard to see how computer-mediated communication and the Internet can facilitate an integrative approach to using technology. My reference was applied by Mark Warshauer, 1996, Computer Assisted Language Learning in February 27 of the 2012 from Logos International website.